thank you to all of you. Look around this. Look around this room. You could be anywhere. You could be doing anything at home. Hell, you could have been watching the Falcons. You could have been doing all that. But you didn't. You came here simply because you love this country. Thank you for that. Thank you. There you go. Wow. What a privilege. You've been hearing it, and we've been saying it, how many months we had, then how many weeks, then how many days. Folks, we're down to about 48 hours. About 48 hours. 48 hours to not just shape the next 4 years, but to shape the next 40 years and generations to come. Now, I know for this room, because I want to be clear, I understand clearly that I am preaching to the choir. But our recital is in 2 days, choir. And we need to sing. We need to sing. So there are folks out there, though, that still haven't made up their mind. And I know you've heard it from folks. It's kind of hard to believe, but you've heard them from them. This is the line I get from folks I know, family, some of these, you get them. They say, well, you know, I really can't stand Trump and the stuff he does. And we're all saying, oh, really? You know, after this. But then they pivot to this. But he was good on the economy. That's a little fuzzy, people. I think it's important, again, to just set the stage about that. 4 years ago, during Donald Trump's time in office, we had lost 2.7 million jobs. Unemployment was way up. And this guy's refusal to listen to experts, he so botched the pandemic, tens of thousands of Americans died needlessly, and the rest of us were thrown into a hunger game to try and find toilet paper with our neighbors. That's what he did. Now look, if he's talking about 4 years ago, if you were a billionaire, you could probably agree with him because you got a tax cut and the rest of us got squat out of the deal. Now, if he gets back in the White House, he's promised, yeah, hell forbid that. Let's go. If he gets back in, he's talking about a $2 trillion cut in spending. J.D. Vance specifically said to do that, they will go after Social Security. And they're starting to get a little cocky and saying the quiet stuff out loud. Speaker of the House, the guy that no one knows because it took like 10 weeks to get one from them, this guy says they're going to gut the Affordable Care Act. But you know it. You know they're going to go and try and get rid of it. And you know what happens when the ACA goes away. For them, it's just they talk about it. It doesn't matter. Pre-existing conditions for all of us. That was the genius of Obamacare. It put control of your health care back with you, not insurance companies. Now, Donald's had 9 years to come up with a plan for health care. He's now morphed it into concept of a plan. But look, he tries now because the ACA is popular. People kind of like having health care. They kind of like taking their kids to the doctor when they need to. They kind of like not going broke and losing their houses because they had a health scare. So it's really popular. But that didn't stop him the first time. He ran on repealing the ACA. He signed an executive order to try and repeal the ACA. He signed on to a lawsuit to get rid of the ACA. And 60 times he, along with the Republican Congress, tried to get rid of it. Had it not been the courage for John McCain, we would have lost the ACA. And 2 days ago, Speaker Johnson suggested that if Trump wins this thing, they're going to go back and repeal the CHIPS and Science Act. Defunding, listen to this, defunding 115,000 jobs that are already working in manufacturing and construction, including 1,200 good-paying jobs right here in Georgia. Now, this thing is not only important for jobs, it's critical that we win the competition of the 21st century from countries like China. That's what those investments do. Now, Donald hates it when we remind him that he's almost 80 years old. He's almost 80 years old. And in that 80 years, you would have thought he would have learned how a tariff works. because everybody else has. Everybody else has. CEOs of Black & Decker, Columbia, and all these companies say if Donald Trump gets his way and he puts this tariff on, it will add 20% to virtually everything you buy, costing all families about $4,000 a year. Anything you get, right out of your pocket. That dude said he went to the Wharton School. He should get his money back from that if he did. Look, you heard Doug say it. You heard everybody say it. Donald's not interested in making your life better. In fact, Donald's not thinking about you at all. I mentioned this the other day. You know, on your phone, you got the lock screen. You got your kids, you got your grandkids, you got your dog, you got your car. If you're some of us, you got it on there. Donald's got a picture of himself on his phone. That's true story. True story. Can we agree that is weird behavior there? That is weird behavior.